Alison Fallon. The Power of Writing It Down. A simple habit to unlock your brain and reimagine your life. Words matter in the most fundamental ways. Just think about how words can change everything in an instant. She's not going to make it. Congratulations, it's a boy. I don't think this is working anymore. I love you. But how do we harness their power for ourselves? Through writing. When we write down our thoughts, express ourselves in words, and articulate our deepest desires, we tap into language's transformative potential. This blink will guide you from facing the blank page to taking charge of your story, showing how writing it down can help you live a more fulfilled and authentic life. You are a writer. Have you ever thought of yourself as a writer? Before you say no, think about this. How many emails did you write today? How many text messages? In our modern world, writing isn't optional. We're all writing, all the time, which means you are, in fact, a writer. What's more, you can access a particularly powerful form of writing that goes beyond daily communication. It's called expressive writing. Expressive writing is simpler than you might think. It's writing that helps you explore your thoughts and feelings without worrying about perfect grammar or polished prose. Think of it as a conversation with yourself on paper, where you can be completely honest and unfiltered. Expressive writing can help clarify your desires, connect you with your subconscious, and reveal your authentic voice. Through expressive writing, you can process difficult emotions, work through challenges, set clearer goals, or even heal from past experiences. This simple act of putting words on paper can spark profound changes in your life. But to harness this power, you need to commit. Here's how to create a sustainable expressive writing practice. First, create a physical space for writing. This doesn't have to be elaborate. What matters is that this space feels special to you. Try attaching sensory stimuli to your writing routine, like lighting a specific candle that you only use during writing time. These sensory cues help signal to your brain that it's time to write. Next, carve out time in your calendar and treat it as a non-negotiable commitment. Look at your schedule honestly. How many of your current obligations truly bring meaning and reward? Even 5 minutes of daily writing can be transformative, and many find early morning or late night works best for uninterrupted focus. Finally, create mental space. Try this exercise. Sit in your writing space at your designated time and simply observe your thoughts without writing. This helps you understand what you're up against, the activity of your limbic brain, the part of your brain responsible for emotions and instinctive reactions. This emotional brain often generates the mental chatter that can distract us, worries about the day ahead, replaying past conversations, or making mental to-do lists. By acknowledging these thoughts during your quiet observation time, you can better understand your emotional landscape and use it in your writing. Staring down the blank page. What's white, rectangular, and absolutely terrifying? The blank page. Writing can hand us the keys to our own life, but first we have to start doing it, and that's often the hardest part. Those first tentative words usually sound all wrong. You'll likely go backwards before you go forwards, spending hours that feel wasted, even though they're not. They're a necessary part of the process. When you begin a writing practice, you'll face 2 types of drama: outside and inside. Outside drama includes all the things that suddenly demand attention when you sit down to write: the urgent email, the dirty dishes, the forgotten phone call. The irony is that writing finally makes you notice how distracted you've been all along. The key is to ask yourself, is this more important than my writing? And if it is, can I do something productive about this now? Or am I just using it as an excuse to panic? Inside drama comes from within. It's that inner saboteur who whispers, "Who do you think you are?" Or, "This is terrible," the moment you face the blank page. Unlike random outside distractions, this drama is specifically tied to writing. But here's the surprising part. It's actually a good sign. Your inner drama queen has recognized the blank page as a safe space where your true feelings can overflow. The trick is managing the volume. Sometimes you need to let it all out in an intense free writing session. Set a timer for 30 minutes and write everything that comes to mind. No editing allowed. Other times, try a gentler approach. Write about your day for just 5 minutes, letting emotions surface gradually. Once you learn to sit with both types of drama, something remarkable happens. That terrifying blank page transforms into an ally. It becomes a space where you can finally hear your own thoughts, process your experiences, and discover what you really think and feel. The noise of daily life quiets down, the inner critic softens, and your authentic voice emerges. So take that first step. Grab a pen, open your notebook, and let the page be not a source of fear, but a doorway to understanding yourself better. After all, the blank page isn't really blank. It's already full of your potential stories, waiting to be told. Question everything. Once you've made peace with the blank page, what should you actually write? Start with questions rather than trying to create something polished. Questions open doors that statements often keep closed. They invite exploration rather than demanding perfection. Try these exercises. Write about a moment that changed you, then ask, what if it had gone differently? This often reveals hidden hopes or fears we carry. Or describe someone who fascinates you and ask, what do I really want to know about them? You might discover that your curiosity about others reveals what matters most to you. Maybe explore a current challenge by asking, what's the real issue here? Followed by, what would this look like if it were easy? Questions can help you spiral deeper into understanding, layer by layer. The beauty of question-based writing is that it removes the pressure to be profound or perfect. Instead of trying to write the definitive account of your childhood, ask, what's my earliest memory of feeling brave? Instead of forcing yourself to solve a problem, ask, what would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? Let your questions lead you deeper. That's where the gold lies, in the exploration rather than the answers. Remember, the goal isn't to produce polished prose right away. The goal is to open doors in your mind, to follow your curiosity, and to see where it leads. Your questions will evolve as you write, each one taking you closer to what you really need to explore. Your secret weapon, the infinity prompt. A fascinating 1994 study revealed the hidden power of expressive writing. After unexpected job losses, 2 groups of long-term employees, all feeling angry, bitter, and hopeless, took different approaches to writing. One group wrote dry accounts of their daily work routines. The other group wrote expressively about their feelings, changed plans, and hopes for the future. While both groups attended the same number of interviews, the expressive writers were 30% more likely to be offered jobs. Why? They had likely discharged their negative emotions through writing, allowing them to focus more clearly on their future. This insight mirrors what happens in therapeutic approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, where we learn to understand and reshape our personal narratives. Just as CBT helps us recognize how our thoughts shape our experiences, expressive writing, particularly through a powerful tool called the infinity prompt, can help us understand and shift the stories we tell ourselves. The infinity prompt consists of 5 questions that you can apply to any challenging situation. First, what are the bare facts of what happened? Then, what story are you telling yourself about those facts? Third, how do you feel about both the event and your interpretation of it? Fourth, how did you engage or disengage with those feelings? Finally, what was the outcome of your chosen response? For example, imagine receiving critical feedback at work. The facts might be, my manager suggested 3 improvements to my project. But your story might be, I'm terrible at my job and everyone knows it. Your feelings might include shame and anxiety, leading you to disengage by avoiding team meetings, which then results in more negative feedback, creating an infinite loop back to the beginning. The power of this prompt lies in recognizing where you can intervene in this cycle. By understanding the difference between facts and your interpretation, between what happened and the story you're telling yourself, you can begin to write a new narrative, one that opens up more possibilities for your future rather than keeping you trapped in old patterns. Narrate your own story. Imagine watching a movie where you know something the main character doesn't. You see the friend approaching with good news while the hero sits dejected, thinking all is lost. When you write about your life, you can be both the protagonist living the story and the narrator seeing the bigger picture. The protagonist might be caught up in the moment's emotions, but the narrator can spot patterns, recognize turning points, and understand deeper meanings that weren't clear at the time. This dual perspective can hand you the keys to your own life. Your narrator voice can become a wise guide, helping you notice when you're about to make a familiar mistake or showing you opportunities your protagonist self might miss. It's the voice that can tell you which way to turn when you need direction, offer solutions to problems that worry you, and remind you that things will be okay. But be careful. Not all narrator voices serve you well. Watch out for false narrators that simply echo what others think about you, or replay unhelpful stories you've absorbed from the media and society. Your true narrator voice taps into your own wisdom and experience. While your narrator can't predict outcomes or control every situation, they can help you see your circumstances more clearly and identify what you can change. Try these exercises to strengthen your narrator voice. Choose a recent challenging experience and write about it twice. First as the protagonist in the moment, then as the narrator looking back. What does the narrator notice that the protagonist missed? Or try reading something you wrote during a difficult time in your past. Let your narrator voice apply the infinity prompt. What were the actual facts? What story were you telling yourself then? How did you feel about both? What did you do with those feelings? What was the outcome? The more you practice accessing your narrator voice, the better you'll become at stepping back from difficult situations, seeing patterns in your behavior, and writing new chapters in your story with more awareness and intention. Write it like a love letter. Ever notice how differently you tell a story depending on who's listening? You might share a work triumph with careful detail to your mentor, but turn it into a funny anecdote for your best friend. That same instinct of shaping our words for a specific listener can transform your expressive writing from vague musings into powerful self-discovery. When you write expressively, imagining a specific recipient can transform abstract thoughts into intimate conversation. Like a love letter, this approach lets you write with warmth, vulnerability, and deep attention. Whether you're writing to a friend who always understands you, your younger self who needs reassurance, or your future self who has figured things out. This technique works because it gives your writing both focus and freedom. Instead of trying to explain everything to everyone, or no one, you're having a heart-to-heart with someone who matters. Writing to your boss about a workplace conflict, for instance, might help you articulate your achievements and needs more clearly than a frustrated journal entry. Addressing your parents could help you understand their choices from a more compassionate perspective. A letter to your partner might reveal feelings you've struggled to express in person, while writing to your teenage self about current challenges can offer surprising comfort and wisdom. The imaginary recipient might change. Today you might write to your teenage daughter about growing up, tomorrow to your mother about forgiveness, next week to a mentor about your dreams. Each recipient brings out different aspects of your voice and perspective. Just as love letters often reveal what we truly want to say, writing to a specific person can help you access deeper truths and emotions. You might find yourself being more honest, more nuanced, or more compassionate than when you write to the void. The recipient becomes a lens that helps you see your thoughts more clearly and express them more fully. And like any good love letter, this kind of writing reminds us that our stories matter, because they matter to someone. The main takeaway of this blink to The Power of Writing It Down by Alison Fallon is that words have incredible power, and we're all writers whether we realize it or not. Through expressive writing, a practice that requires space, commitment, and the courage to face the blank page, we can unlock deeper understanding of ourselves and our experiences. Simple techniques like asking questions, examining our personal narratives, and writing as if to someone specific can transform vague thoughts into powerful insights that help us live more authentically. Okay, that's it for this blink. We hope you enjoyed it. If you can, please take the time to leave us a rating. We always appreciate your feedback. See you in the next blink.